same cups, multiple circuits over, and they were just getting a lot of grind in, and now they saw the, I guess, the fruits of their labor going to all these LAN events, but that comes with its own skill set, effectively, to make sure that you're in the right headspace and you can play the right level of Counter-Strike to actually play against these higher level teams. I do believe the stats are skewed for the side of Bait just because they play so much online Counter-Strike, but we're gonna have to see in an online game here in ESL Challenger League. Bait starting on T side on their map pick in the series. We start off on Inferno.
There's a lot of skill in this server. Do not underestimate that in that aspect. Norvi, primed with his nade. Deco finds one. Another setup activates. It's not gone too badly, but Norvi needs to stay alive. Cavalry is sprinting down mid. Flanking in Banana, and Norvi gets another duel. I dare say he's probably done enough. Even a bomb plant here as a result. They do find it, but pistol round, easily enough, goes the way of Aurora.
Yeah, that was actually really sick from Norway. He had that nade primed for ages, got it out, and first shot he fired straight into a head of a Bait member and is able to fall back with the flash, buy time, and then even got in a second one for his troubles. So more than enough done as that supportive player that had invested into utility could have very easily been sort of run over quickly if Bait were a little bit more successful in those opening fights. So a nice healthy start. Put the 3-man stack on the top of Banana, and Bait crawled into it. And they go right into a second round buy with that plant. They'll have some rifles to operate around. They have a flurry of SMGs. But given that there are a lot of rifles here for Aurora, I think it'll be a little difficult for these MAC-10s to actually close that gap. Aurora are not sort of encouraged to play in these close-ranged angles. Result just waiting inside of those apartments. It is pretty standard 3-2 split between the A and B bomb site. Result's done well. An opening kill and able to fall back effectively, get that smoke down and stop anyone chasing him out from the apartments. And with a smoke coming out from Boiler, Deco lined up for a frag as well, and PL outran and overran. 3 players remaining here for Bait, and they're all clustered towards this B bomb site. They'll have to go here.
Norvi waits. Front side smoke. Make it even more difficult. Comes through the CT smoke. It's Captain Kirk. Okay.
My god.
Lackey, this is so awkward. He's so low. Deco's super low as well. He's not long for this world. This round could slip very quickly. Now the bomb is planted. I'm not sure Aurora has the advantage anymore. There must be a kit down you to fort somewhere. Perhaps not. Not sure if anybody bought an SMG.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, such a big kill.
Incredibly snappy there from Result. Everybody is within an inch of their life. And Essential at the back of the bomb site has to just try and play as hidden as possible. He'll find and catch Deco as he clambers right into the site, and that 10-second timer is already ticking. Result, if there is a kit down on this site, he needs to recover it quick, but even by the time he picks it up, it is far too late. Bait have done enough. Essential just hiding at the back of quad, able to pull through in a 1v2.
Is that a 2v... Is it a 2v4?
2v3, I believe.
Didn't Norvi get one and then full? And then it was a...
Well, it was MAC-10 pushed through CT smoke for first
that was
on the B play, right. And there were 2 stuck first orange.
Those kills happened about the same time.
Yeah.
Either way, Aurora had better guns and a man advantage, better nades.
Yeah,
that is not ideal.
They're really not expecting Kirka to jump through CT. So it's upset the balance. From pistol to 1 second round from the side of Bait, and Nori has just slid into the top of Banana to find an opening kill. Would have liked to have retrieved that weapon that he dropped, but the frag will do for now.
Aurora will push apps at some point. If Lackey can get this smoke down, he has another smoke too. It's a shame they don't have any information. Deco's going to lean. Results starting to move in apartments. And is Bait pulling the plug? This feels really kind of flustered to me. I know it is not obvious to see it, but my experience says there's a lot of communication right now about what to do.
Yeah, because Aurora have been able to chain over those smokes at the mouth of B. Bait searching back on that A-bomb site. Kenzie spotting the brunt of the assault. In fact, he's just so clean with this 5-7. He's dealt with most of the pack himself, and that's just led to the complete disregard of Result also inside of the apartments. So between Kenzie and Result, they double up each. But some nice clean shooting on those 5-7s makes it a very topsy-turvy start to this best of 3.
Welcome, new fans, to watching Aurora. Enjoy your stay. This happens. It often happens. Wow, I mean, that double from Kenzie. Holy. But yeah, Bait to me just looked... They're just always playing catch-up in that round. They lose the first man and then super slow in B. I think they're actually lucky that the apartments push didn't come in. Could have been even worse. Okay. Well, this is the best that Bait can muster. Deagle armor, smattering of util, but not even much of that. Maybe just give this up, Deco.
Yeah, he should have been counting his blessings after he didn't get caught out by the boiler peak, which he was apparently very unprepared for. Flash in for mid on the side of Bait. Their last piece of util to really facilitate these pistols, and Deco is kind of unrelenting out from short. Swings out for Boiler and catches another one of these deeks, and it kind of lines up Kenzie to deal with the rest, but the team were crunching from Banana as well. So Aurora are able to stabilize and get their hands on all the fallen rifles. Bait now to save, and this now allows Aurora to really build some economy and get some space away from a Bait side that were already kind of upsetting the balance at the start of the game. But considering this was a Bait's selection in the series, you know, these haven't been conventional rounds, so to speak, because of the way the economy is sat. But they are not doing a fantastic job of deterring Aurora on some of these duels and some of these plays. In fact, Result just jumping through the balcony out to second mid and barrel stuffing with that M4. It looked pretty good to start, but they've lost a lot more than they really should have coming into this round. Bait had very little invested, and they lose 3 lives for it. So I'm talking about building money. Aurora just wanted to sort of make a statement, and it does come at a pretty heavy cost.
Yeah, I mean, they are often their own worst enemies. Discipline, often a problem for this team. We just saw a glimpse of it. But, I mean, they're still winning 4-1. Their buy here is good. Norvi and Kenzie have money at least. So, while they're in a bad spot, it just could have been better. Let's see. 3 players towards Banana. Deco's here to help. And util still, if they want to get aggressive and force out this take. Indeed they do. He clears the cub. He can't win the duel. Trade is there, though. Results found one in the meanwhile. Where was that? Is that in apartments? It is, and now he's pushing. So aggressive.
But NPL is inside of the apartments, and he never was spotted, so that may be an area that they lose their guard. In fact, Deco missing out his opportunity over towards Banana as well. So multiple opportunities present itself here for Bait. Result may have a flank available, but he's lost every single one of his teammates all the meanwhile. A 1-on-3 in a position that they shouldn't really expect. I imagine it'll be haphazardly cleared out by NPL, the fact that they could have accessed Banana. But even then, Essential is looking back at it, and Result is going for this retake. Seeing if he can find somebody completely unaware of his location, but this angle will be a tough one to clear. It's perfectly pre-aimed, and a kill available in at that sandbag as well. Smoke available, and a lot of util to make their lives even more complicated. The flash in, Result is just a sharpshooter, but NPL denying the attempt. A fantastic run of things there from Result, but too many members remaining there from Bait, and too many outs in the mid-round. They do collect on that B bomb site.
That was a 4-on fee for Aurora, with Result in a stunning position. Pushing. Getting in behind. They need to clean up their act a bit. They need to clean up their act. Result almost saves them in the end. That would have been unbelievable if he had clutched that round. But, yeah. Bayan's a bit of a lifeline. See if they can make good on it. Deco is fearless at the moment. And so he should be. Flashbang ineffective. Deco finds the kill. Being aggressive. Flashbang is so good there. Mid pot perfect. And there's nobody else on A. There's nobody else on A, they're going to have to save.
Yeah. Even coming into this round, you had sort of noted that there were a couple players that had money. And so they do squeeze together some premium rifles, but just unable to get too much impact out from it. Just that one kill on Deco, and you know, he'll want to have better opportunities than this to express what he can with that AWP. So Bait are right back into the swing of things. Some early warning signs, I think, for Aurora that seem to have gone relatively disregarded. And Bait are now clamoring on their heels. They can very quickly tie things back up in a 4-4 fashion. Sure, Aurora can save these weapons, but you know, where I was worried, Bait weren't expressing themselves, you know, tactically in the opening rounds because the economy was so weird. Now that they have all the util that they need, they are setting themselves up for some pretty advantageous fights. And in some respects, Aurora aren't playing as safe as they could in some of those moments. You know, they're taking the lower percentage, more aggressive route, maybe to try and disrupt Bait flow, but they're also losing their heads in some of those attempts.
No investment here. Just juggling guns, aren't they?
Yeah.
Ooh. Well, the thing is for Aurora, they might lose against quite a few lower buys, but my god, can they win them too. So don't take your eye off this one.
Already seen what the 5.7s do. Maybe Aurora just the squad to make a lot of a little. Deco's probing, and shows no interest of being scared off of this fight. Flash out so NPL can escape that cubby and relink with the rest of the squad over at B. Now there is a high-low setup on this B bomb site, so even with Nori having this rifle, he will have a player beneath him that can provide some extra firepower, but could also very easily be toppled off of his throne. NPL, nice jump up, but immediately dispatched of. But that gives information about the two players within that site proper, and Essential will spam for the first. They are trying to encroach and come in from all sides to defend this B bomb site, but there's no committed movement out from Bait so far, and they're just stopping, freezing, and waiting for a potential flank. They've now realized they are completely contained with that kill by Lackey. It's into a 3-on-3 where Nori is that sole defender. Deco did come in on support, but didn't have the line, and finds another trade. The flick is immaculate in from Deco. A quick double out from construction, and that slows down the pace here for Headtrick. He's still worried about that flank, but Lackey's linked back through CT, and while Headtrick pops the first, Deco switching to that USP can trade all the same. It's a nail-biter finish, but a 5th for Aurora.
That's a marquee round. That's what we expect. I think Bates will regret not committing on the kill onto Kenzie. They waited so long behind that B smoke.
Yeah.
What did they expect to happen? They'd shown so much presence. And they allowed just long enough for Deco to get on location. Well, as I said earlier, Aurora can lose some pretty heinous rounds, but their ability to win on lesser buys keeps them in games at an astonishing degree. If they can just win this round, Bait will have no money left in the bank.
A cute play lined up for Lackey, but you get shot and sort of scared off the fight. I do know about Essential in T-spawn, but there's not exactly a whole lot of bite left here for Bait. Alex and Essential, sure they've got AKs, but we'll have to do a lot of the grunt work just by slowly sliding into bomb sites. And Aurora have built a crossfire on A, where Alex is attempting to fish for a kill. But these fish don't seem to be all too active. Information is gained. Result with that step, but it just makes Kenzie's job that much easier while all attention is drawn to his teammate. Kenzie finds one, and while Kenzie has attention, Result slides out. So nicely done between that pairing on A.
Aurora have stumbled a couple times in this half, but it doesn't feel like it's going to matter, does it? 6-3 now. This one's a super heavy eco, so it should be 7. And of course, this is Bait's pick. A map as well where Aurora have not had the most stunning of results. Coming up to the end of the last season, towards the player break.
But you noted, you know, the teams they're playing typically of a higher caliber. You know, Bait, yeah. I think are maybe to that level, but are far less proven on that sort of stage. And, you know, kind of talking about the wherewithal, or I guess the mental of Aurora coming back off the player break and whether or not they can reset. Same could be levied over to Bait as well. So nice start to this low buy round here for Bait, with Alex finding a kill, but it'll be hard to make that much more considering they can't get their hands on rifles, and everywhere they go, they're getting exploited for the fact they don't have armor, and these rifles can just shoot them in the bodies and have no problems. It is 2 deaths for Aurora, but we're approaching the end of this first half.
Yeah.
So money becomes less of a problem.
First pause from Bait. Timely, isn't it? Because they need to talk to them right now. What's going right? What's going wrong? Imagine the going right list is pretty short.
Am I crazy? You know, the rounds have been pretty slow developing, but they haven't been like fully stretched out like some games we'll see, like tactically. We just haven't seen any pace from Bait almost whatsoever. You know, the couple times they've tried to go early B, they've lost an opening man, but we're only really seeing default into maybe late round explode, and I understand Inferno can play like that, but when you're not winning rounds, it's surprising to see them not try and shift the tone. Aurora are doing all the pace setting. And oh my goodness, they are not going to be ready for this, but Result also didn't look like he had the screen real estate to see what just happened to him. Alex, a double, and NPL finds a kill as well in dispatching of this aggressive mid-maneuver from Aurora. They tried to change things up. They tried to get in Bait's faces, and that's come at a pretty hefty cost. Fantastic opportunity for Bait to maybe even salvage together 5 rounds at the end of this half. They need to convert here. They need to read into the fact that Kenzie is taken over those apartments, but I don't even think Aurora have a clean read on where Bait are headed, even with A being so heavily occupied.
That all they're already thinking, save. What happened there for Aurora? Are they kind of not aware who's covering what? Because that didn't look right. Who's taking the first contact on different positions there? Not sure even they know. So I think they're in a I think if they played that better, they would have absolutely farmed the bait players. I don't think Alex was ready at all.
Yeah, he looked like he got jump scared, but the muscle memory kicked in, right?
Was it Result that was pushed up underneath him?
Yeah, and
Result didn't. He didn't know that. Yeah, he didn't know where his teammate was looking.
Yeah, so. Well, I think that player was looking there, but got there late enough that the bait players had already crossed the sight line. That would be my suspicion.
Yeah, that could be the case. Could be an experience with the setup. I mean, maybe you want your best spawn to go to the bench on the right so that you win the cross. I'm not exactly sure the timings work. Be pretty close. Certainly an AWP with a good spawn would just beat them. And check this out. The aggression doesn't work. Go, and go again. And die again.
Again, an Alex double. This time, more aware. His teammate gave him the heads up. NPL realizing what's happening. And some good starting flashes to deter that kind of aggression. Aurora did not learn their lesson the first time, or thought maybe they just got unlucky. But the start is eerily similar, but with a little more hope for Aurora. An extra man to work with, Kenzie. A slide through into the T-side apartments, but oh, what good presence of mind from Alex. Got a bit of extra elevation, jumped on top of the table in second mid, and is able to dispatch of him in through those T apartments. So now it's a bit of a race over towards A. Deco does get here in time, but with a UMP and a Molotov, all he really has to slow the roll. They don't even have to fully commit here, because Captain Kirka has crept out onto the B-bomb site, and he's called it completely clear. They could run back if they went full safety, but they've got 3 already on A, and they're just going to let Kirka flank. Head trick dealt with at the start before that bomb goes down, and for the next 10 seconds, I mean, this will be a 2-on-2 if they decide to accelerate fast enough, but they are worried about all the nooks and crannies.
It's so hard to cross this short side and get a good duel. Not going to happen. Alex collects the final 2. Well, the most Aurora half I've ever seen just there. 7 for them, 5 for their opponents. Second half to come up next.
While the defensive setups may have been working for Aurora, that wasn't quite enough to satiate their bloodlust. Some aggressive moves made towards the end of that half that allow Bait to get to 5 rounds from their T side. And so there is light at the end of the tunnel for this Ukrainian roster. Let's see whether or not they can actually pull things together on CT as well. So a nice start and a little bit topsy-turvy for Spy Wars at the start of the first half. Second half could be more of the same.
First 2 collected. Aurora surely have to back out. This round might already be done. I don't know what you do from here as the T side. Your hits lost all its sting. You've done some util as well. Lucky is a smoke and a Molotov remaining. Well, the route we're going, this is going to be Bait right back into the game. Just need to hold on and play the crossfires.
I think they hope they can re-exec just based off that 1 smoke, 1 molly. Smoke down towards CT would be pretty well placed, but Kirka could go running through that smoke. Hetrick finally dealt with, and with that smoke down, they can couple that with a flash, but it's not enough for Kirka to get away with anything. So from that 2-man advantage, it's now stabilized and equalized. In fact, an advantage found as they try to get position just as Aurora are going for the plant. Bait have lost an extra man, and that slowdown towards top B has netted them a plant and an advantage. It's not an essential, really, to get something back out of this round, but Aurora playing it safe. They don't have healthy members across the board. They've got double in from quad, and with Deco dealt with, Lackey will swing out for the trade, and in fact, double up on the affair. A 3K from what was, once upon a time, the in-game leader for this Aurora side. Lackey, that supportive man with the util no armor. A triple in pistol.
Again, welcome to Aurora. Welcome to Aurora Gaming. Bait, surely they're going to reflect on that pistol round and say, wow, we had such a stunning position here. I don't even mind the idea of flashing through CT and fighting, but do that when your player coffins. You know, do it together. Both do it. Yeah. Instead of the coffins player fighting and dying and then going through alone. I don't know, man. That was not ideal. Not ideal. And it's netted them a horrible buy now, hasn't it? They don't have head armor either on this CT side. If Aurora can clean this one up, they are very close to winning Inferno.
Yeah, this has been a interesting development in this game, but would be kind of excited to see whether or not Bait can squeeze enough juice out of this force buy to once again give them a chance to fight back. It's a double setup over towards the arches that does deal with Deco. 3 more players still close enough by, and an AK recovered for this Bait roster. Essential will be able to get around the edge of that Moto smoke. It was far from perfect, and has given some room for a head trick to come out that smoke all the same. So making use of that fallen rifle, and one that's been collected, but they're starting to dart the other direction here on the side of Aurora. Norrie has been keeping tabs on this B bomb site and has seen and heard a whole lot of nothing. So it's on Kirka to reveal himself at an inopportune time for Bait to get actually enough time to come in on this retake, and Kirka will find his first, in fact doubling up the instant headshot on that 5-7, doing a lot, and Kenzie tagged and spammed through that smoke. We're getting flashbacks of the first half when Aurora win pistol and Bait answer back. It's happened again in the second.
Doesn't seem to matter at the moment, does it, if the team's on a buy or not? That was a huge mistake from Aurora to let that one slip. They had an advantage early on as well.
Yeah, winning, losing low buy rounds. Both teams have been vulnerable to it.
It really could be a game of who cleans up their act first. It's going to win this map of Inferno. I dare say the buy here is so bad for Aurora. They have 1 smoke and 1 flashbang remaining. There goes the AK as well.
Who needs AKs?
Of course. Why not? Why not? That just works.
Alan,
it just
who
works.
needs AKs or util? They have found 3 kills, 2 from Norway and 2 from Result. How has this happened? Aurora right back into it. You say the buy is looking poor, and I don't disagree. But
why did they buy rifles? What's the point?
It may not matter. Hedrick will still have to give this a go. 1 kill collected, but he's got 2 M4s to deal with guarding from CT, and he still can't get past Deco, who holds a higher angle of elevation, doesn't just play on that headshot angle in through pit. And just like that, they may not have done the best job in the second round converting out of the pistol, but a force by themselves, that's just the way they roll.
It's like a cartoon at the moment, this game. It's wacky. Still, though, if Aurora can just clean up their act, it's going to be 11 rounds for them to 6. If they can just convert against this pretty bad buy. Now, there is an if there, of course. And that if has gone by the wayside a few times on this map already.
Well, even if we end up in a vicious cycle of force buys, Aurora are closer to the finish than Bait, so the status quo cannot be maintained. As weird as this status quo may look.
It's of course the case as well that T side is much more favourable when it gets wacky with the economy. Has Alex...
Oh my...
I think he was spotted. He was spotted. He was spotted. I was very nervous there for a second.
Yeah, Result gave away sound cues and Alex was in hot pursuit, so if not for that quick relay of information, things could have gotten wild and wacky again. Bait are low on so many of these players, and they are clustered B. There is very little ways in which this goes wrong for Aurora, unless NPL comes up with something fantastic, and that is about as poor as it could have gone for him. A flying Mach 10 in his face. Once again, forced by wars at the start of the first 3 rounds, sure. But Aurora are the first ones to stabilize.
They do it for the fans. They do it for the entertainment value, of course. It'd be too easy just to win pistol and then convert and then win the game.
Well, I know the Aurora social media team love throwing memes out to, reaction posts and all sorts, so maybe it is a top-down entertainment product for them.
They would be a good team, the ones that run their socials like self-deprecating when it's going badly.
Yeah.
They would be a great team for that. They could do like how not to play anti-eco tutorials. It'd be great. That would be absolute content.
And I want to say they also had a very cool jersey for ESL Melbourne. ESL Challenger Melbourne. I seem to remember them having a very cool jersey when they went out to Australia.
I'm not sure I've seen it.
Maybe I'm thinking of the wrong team, but I rate the jerseys anyway, so I'll have to Twitter sleuth a different time. We sit at 6 to 10, Bait on USPs and a P250.
I worked out egregiously late on that the Bait logo has a fishing hook in it.
It took you that long?
But no. I didn't. It's not like I just realised this second, but it took me a good few months to realise after they first burst out on the scene.
I think as trivia, I think it's while it is a fishing hook, I think it's more likely to have relevance for I don't know if you've played Dota, but Pudge's meat hook. That's because Bait is owned by Dendi, like an ex-Navi TI winner. I think he's even multiple TI winner. And Pudge is his kind of signature hero. So, we're talking about some of the Bait lore. They've still made this a kind of an interesting round, haven't they? Alex is in a 1 versus 2 with a recovered AK, and sure doesn't have armor, but he was really stressing out that bomb carrier, and he just completely caught off guard by Deco, not only having the high ground, but then also just shooting him in the back.
Oh my god, it's like a slapstick game of Counter-Strike.
That was a wild 180.
When's Norby gonna slip on a banana? That's what I need. I need it to be in black and white with the clown music and everything. That would be ideal. Well, stumble they may. Aurora are on track to win this map quite comfortably. It's a bit bizarre, isn't it? It's like 100-meter hurdles where they knock over 7 out of the 10 hurdles or whatever and still win by 2 seconds.
Yeah.
It's just like, that's just how we roll.
It may not be...
I will not go over them, I will go through them.
Not the most gracious display,
No.
but it's a result.
There's a reason Aurora doesn't compete in that. They wouldn't be winning any of the style points.
Yeah.
But they might have done this game, though. That really might be it.
A nice collection of players to have taken over brackets. Very rarely did we see Bait go for these concerted efforts in these early stages, but just like that, 2 players given up, but they have no clue. Not even the simplest of ideas that Deco is right behind them. He was not expecting to have been given a position like that, but with his 2 teammates dying so quickly, it really sold that there's no possibility of Deco occupying that space.
Well, they did their best to throw the round.
Again, it's all for entertainment. They gave Deco the opportunity.
Like the WWE team. That's what I need.
No, we're down, and then it's Triple H that just subs in from the floor.
Exactly. Somebody give me Deco's head on John Cena or something. That's what I need. Well, stumble they might. Stumble they might. But they've got 6 chances. This buy is a disaster for the CT side. Deco, give him credit, has made a very good game, despite all the antics. I think this might be done.
Yeah, it's looking more and more likely. Even if they end up in a post-plant situation, they'll have no kits, no smokes, no Molotovs. You know, they cannot afford to give up a bomb site, and for them already operating that one-man down is going to make that task even more trying. The boost is a cute idea, but Aurora already grouping themselves up over towards B. Headtrick tried to dismantle silently, but in a weird way, that's worked out to coax Result into a full sense of security. Leads himself through that smoke, and while they have conceded the site, they have brought it back to a 4-on-4, but there will have to be an express amount of urgency here for Bait on the retake.
It could be the death now.
Yeah, it's a big kill.
Yeah, certainly is. Molly as well on Lackey. Is there a kit even on the ground? We've got 1 flashbang. Make it 2.
No kits.
They're not being dispersed. They're just walking in through the CT smoke at the moment. Alex is finding the first. Still a crossfire to navigate. Captain Kirk walk straight into that one. Just head trick. Finds 2. Surely not. Time. Not enough. Even if he wins the duel. 13-6 for Aurora. A win's a win. Not perfect. But still a very comfortable scoreline. All said and done.
Yeah, an uncomfortable game with a comfortable scoreline.
Yeah, I say it's comfortably uncomfortable.
This was a bit of a wild inferno. We had Alex acing at the end of the first.
The real question is what Bait is going to show up, because as you said before this series, they've been on an upward trajectory. They can play some good Counter-Strike, but in that map 1, the gun rounds were few and far between. They didn't look on the same level. That cannot be the case now on Nuke.
Yeah, it didn't look the cleanest from the side of Bait. A lot of slow developing rounds that were just blowing up in their faces, and it was only when Aurora started throwing themselves into the crosshairs or into the fold that Bait started to find a bit more success. So let's see what styles, I guess, come to fruition here on this second map. Aurora will start on that T side, given it's their selection. And with the dualies here in Headtrick's hands, already inserting himself close in hut while Aurora investigating outside. Well, that was a very simple collection in the end from Result, and a quick collapse on this A bomb site as well, which is notably quite unoccupied. 3 players that group themselves up through ramp are on and committed to a fast flank. But they've now dealt with Captain Kirka, so it's only this flank that remains. And there are good trades available here on the side of Bait, but they are still that extra man down. Door could open, and a free frag for NPL, but it's a quick 180 from Deco. Heard that door swing open and knew his back was exposed. So some nice shooting in this pistol from Aurora, but a very vacant A bomb site that's capitalized on.
That kill from Deco just feels insulting. I mean, that is ridiculous. Wow.
Yeah, a bit of a kick in the teeth.
Absolutely. Well, if that's going to set the tone, Bait might be nervous. This one, very, very light eco. Seems to be going this way. Fewer and fewer teams are forcing second round on the CT side.
Yeah, with the changes to the economy and like the amount of money you get from getting that bomb down and losing it, you know, you're thinking T sides would buy in second rounds less, and some teams have angled that direction, but Aurora are not going to be one of those teams and haven't been. So
it's one aspect of the game where statistics is really the answer. You just need to know aggregated over top teams over, you know, whatever, last 6 months.
Sure.
What is the best thing to do? Because I actually don't know the answer to that question.
Yeah, we've maybe not got the sample size yet to look at and reflect on.
I'm not sure the tools exist. I mean, Skybox is probably only people who can do it to answer that question, but maybe they will in time. I don't think we can at the moment.
Maybe Leafy once upon a time, but not sure that those products still
Can we stop
exist.
dying to pistols? For the love of God.
It is USPs.
They're actually 2v3 on the lower side at the moment.
Oh, and the timing for Alex is looking pretty good. Oh, reset. Very good clear. Patrick will lose out on his life, as will Essential, so a bit of a close shave, but in the end, Aurora collect. And so we don't see the back and forth at the start of Nuke, at least. You know, Inferno kind of set an unhealthy precedent.
There's still
with the amount of
time.
force buys.
There's still time.
Don't do that.
I do not doubt it. But yeah, I mean, those kills might look insignificant, but they do a great deal to limit this Aurora economy. Okay, guns are out. No AWP though for the CT side. Util isn't too bad. They got options. Check out Mr. NPL. Actually, I thought he was aggressive on the other side of Mini, but he's not. He's inside of Mini. Pretty standard opening for Bait. Very inner-centric. Out as the exposed position. And without any HE grenades to break these smokes, I'm not sure how much NPL can get engaged.
Oh my goodness. Played close to that smoke and started spamming when he heard the steps on the cross, but that could have turned out a lot worse for both sides. Alex does insert himself towards this lower side and gets himself to those decon stairs, but one kill only, and still hovering around with that USP, unable to collect on another or even do too significant a damage. Hedrick does collect on a kill as well, all the meanwhile, but finds himself at 3 HP. But even with all this territory towards that lower bomb site, they are still poking, probing, and just waiting to see what Lackey gets up to. But while they've been waiting for that, Deco's lost his life and the bomb with it inside of control. So Bacon starts to lean over. That's information gained. Timing's great there for Lackey. NPL would have been blissfully unaware of a player still lingering inside of heaven. And do they not know they have the bomb down here? Because we
weren't aboard for that, but I don't know how Lucky won that duel. Yeah, I don't know how he won that.
They're still playing for the ramp side, and they're starting to re-navigate over towards A. Lackey, with that extra kill, has gained a whole lot of territory and space that can allow for this plant. Headtrick didn't have the health to trade, but does overwhelm. And with Kenzie at the back of the bomb site, just hoping he can find an isolated frag, Headtrick was beginning to race his way through, and Essential will find good timing. So Bait on their first guns do show a bit of bite, where Aurora had quite a few outs presented by Lackey.
They wouldn't have known it, Aurora, but the B site was the site to plant on. I don't blame them. I think an A was lesser defended. But it is to their demise. Buy is sketch for Aurora. They have got 4 smokes. You always need 3 or more on this map to ensure you got enough to smoke the cross. Helps as well if you can put down a smoke at some point to you know, at least feign the vent diver and apply pressure. Just this one you just seen to the side of hut. Kind of a must. But what next?
And once again, they'll throw the leaning wall, but they're trying to collapse into main off of that. NPL has done a great job of dispatching of that second prong to the assault, and the site players defending the top side efficiently. Ori does get 1 kill back, but no teammates, and 25 HP is all he's got. He does have the bomb, I guess, as well. Not sure how much that'll help him in his situation. He's occupied, and, well, that's a gift. He was crouched and waiting for maybe an ascent up the ladder, and finds the top of Alex instead. Well, would singe the feet of a player beneath him, so he's trying his best to piece this one together and do as much damage in this round as possible, but NPL's being tricky about this, hidden away, and does catch Nori out. So 3 alive, 2 rounds straight here for Bait.
Looking better.
And
I wonder if more Utah would have helped Aurora with that split. He weren't on board of MPL, but he absolutely shredded the players coming in from main. Can only assume there were no flashes near him. Okay. Well, this is becoming quite a good position for Bait. They need a clean round, though, to ensure some economic buffer. But, they're taking some control here. More than they ever had on map 1.
Be a very disappointing round to lose or even like go close. So a nice efficient cleanup, and you asked for a clean round, and you'll get it. Nice buffer built up, like you were alluding to before that round played out, and so now should they seed a round, they can reinvest and answer right back, or at least put their chips on the table. Aurora really liking this leaning wall, and have already shown 2 variants of how they can play off of it in these opening 5 rounds. Whether or not they will be all too effective is still remains to be seen. While silently smiling at the fact that NPL was able to get and deal with one of the prongs to what was supposed to be an A-side split. I pushed for him to be the Katia player to watch, so the first map was not great.
Time here for him to have a stunning nuke.
It would be.
In position to do so. Around outer. I feel like the A's bomb site's about to get hit, but we're taking a while. I wonder if that molly on towards hut has slowed them down. Re-smoke comes in. Nades galore from Result. He's actually got the bomb. Needs to cross towards the side at some point. First kill goes the way of Norvi. There's still someone up close and personal to Squeaky. He is failed. Alex comes up the vent. And that was unlikely to work. Central, though, does his job. Bomb is dropped. Has NPL in behind him. Still a little bit awkward as these duels happen on command, chained through. Bomb is below heaven, and NPL just swings. What a bizarre round.
Yeah, definitely bizarre. You were right on the money. You know, that Molotov down hut, that's what stopped and stifled the entire A-side assault. And then I think because it was to such a slow pace after the Molotov had dispersed, I think Bait were a little confused themselves about whether or not that was a proper commitment or not. You know, players were playing inside of smokes. They weren't covering their angles properly. NPL smoked off inside of main. There actually wasn't a lot of eyes on the bomb site itself. Everyone playing to keep themselves alive because they found themselves in compromising positions. So a little hard fought, but Aurora do break the small run of rounds, and Kenzie just slipped inside of main. That timing on the blooming of the waterfall smoke to main is perfect. It'll allow for some extra room for those players coming out from hut, and they lose that A bomb site rather quickly. But Bait are still considering this. They've got Flash lined up via NPL that if they get some kills on Essential, they could go in for this retake.
Not anymore.
Just like that, with that one flash, they are now saving.
Feels like Aurora is starting to spool up a bit. The round's a bit funky, but they are winning them.
Oh, okay.
I've got that feeling.
Yeah.
One too many ninja diffusers already this week. I don't need another.
Well, it didn't turn out that way. Aurora boosted, so if there was a player inside of Heaven trying to slide in and defuse that bomb, had to get past him first. And had NPL actually been committed to Heaven proper, there was a chance. But not this time. Not today. I was beginning to think maybe you and I as a combo would be some kind of magnet to that.
Could be. Who knows? Jury's out. Science isn't ready yet to comprehend these questions.
That's how we bend space and time to our whim.
Precisely. Once we're done curing cancer, we'll move on to that question.
No. If only it were so easy. It's not exactly a very reinforced buy. Those two weapons saved over, and they are surrounded by pistols. We saw Aurora win a round not too dissimilar to this on Inferno. But can Bait show that same level? Patrick's already on 33 HP with his AWP, and that may not be the biggest of deals, but will mean that he has to play a lot safer angles. A lot of the boxes, the edges of them, especially on Nuke, can be spammed, so a missed shot could cost him. Essential struck in for one.
This is about to get awkward, isn't it?
Oh my god.
Alex.
For Alex,
Almost.
but he needed that kill.
Oh, he also didn't have anybody that could swing from heaven to finish the job. Still, though, not out of the woods yet. NPL is here. NPL has HP. Lackey decapitates his teammate. When does NPL get engaged? Just now. He was on the side proper. Trade is good, but the HP is a disaster. Just 6 remaining on Deco. And he indeed falls. Bait win the round. Oh, Aurora's Bane. Unfortunately, seems to be Aurora.
Yeah. Yeah, I couldn't have put it better myself. That is a hell of a round, and Essential's having quite a performance already here on Nuke. Some nice sharp shooting, even on some of these retake attempts. This time it's pistol into AK, and NPL does just enough to tee him up for that 1 versus 2, and he hits some ripper shots to deliver. So Aurora come back into this round with a far from glorious buy. So they've got that AWP out on Deco, but these 2 AKs and only really 1 full belt of utility. A bit of a menace, but once again they try and slip into this main smoke, and this time it wasn't NPL that safeguarded it. Alex taking up that position. Wondered if Kenzie would try and bypass it just based on the difference in players on the setup. But decides to back himself away, and they've lost Result all the meanwhile.
Taking their merry time in this one. I can't see how Aurora can win this round, let alone find some good duels. Deco finds 1. Where's the bomb? The bomb is ramp. Deco takes out another. Oh, finish your food, Essential. Head trick does the job. Now with the bomb down. That should be all she wrote. 30 seconds. Deco might do better just to try and save this AWP.
What?
Is he seriously trying to do this?
What is he thinking about? Because he's got 20 seconds and bomb is way too far away. Would they rather have a saved AK instead of a saved AWP? I guess that could be a part of the thinking here.
Counter-terrorists win.
I don't understand. Hopefully Deco does. It also means their money is way out of balance now. He has a gun. Nobody else can buy anything. They'll have to full eco around this. Pause in for Aurora, potentially to discuss said economics. They got away with it on Inferno at times, being a bit lackadaisical, making mistakes. We're slipping into a territory here where this game's in jeopardy if Aurora don't button up their shirts.
Yeah, and you, I think at the start of this series, were saying you thought this would go to 3 maps. Maybe not in the way the maps
not quite
have
like this.
developed. Yeah. But we're starting to see some of the, I guess, individual ability of the side of Bait. We're seeing some of the team play aspects of them as well here on Nuke, which were, I won't lie, a little absent on Inferno. Maybe taking a little while to wake up coming into this series. And as they do, you know, some of these problems that we've been highlighting here for Aurora, yeah, they do start to become a liability, perhaps.
Got a feeling we're about to go full matchmaking with this T round. Bomb is on its own in lobby, ready to go ramp. Got 4 players wrapping outer elsewhere. Where's Deco? Deco is there. Deco's going down secret at the moment. That man needs to find a fight. Bomb is... Oh, Bomb has made it down ramp in the meanwhile.
They know the...
Head trick is out in the open. Okay, they found it. Well, nothing going here. Results on A. Interesting.
And now he's dead. It did feel as though there was a timing that Aurora were clearly trying to hit, and almost did, but then all of a sudden we had 4 quick kills from the Bait side, almost in sync. Like they were waiting for the order. Weapons free. Well, 6 will do on a CT side. You obviously want a little bit more out of CT Nuke, but worst come worst, it's far from being out of your hands when you switch sides. You know, you consider a pistol conversion, maybe dealing with a force buy and then conversion, which I make it sound like it's so simple, but we've seen in this series that has been far from the case. Once again, leaning outside smokes here for Aurora. They even throw in the waterfall to potentially permeate into the main. But they only send Nori down towards Secret. And something's been dealt with trying to cross all the same. So they are down a man, and they have no utility available here for the Aurora side. They ran in fairly light on grenades. Only the one flash that they can maybe use to facilitate a peek later on into a round, but they're just going to have to try fight and hope they come out ahead on the duels, and that just simply is not working. NPL, a second to add to the tally.
Okay, Lucky finds 1, but it's actually really awkward positioning here on A. I don't think we should be staying on top hut when Heaven's open. He's starting to move now. Hedrick commits to playing CT Vent. Again, not an ideal position to fight Heaven from. Hedrick dies. That should have been a slam dunk round for Bait.
It's not over until it's over, but it is not looking the best to coming in on this retake. They do have kits available, but No Molotov or smoke to section off the site as they come in. Doubling main, and there's a crossfire between these two vent sides. Result can take that first contact, and Lackey can swing off of it, and they even line up for Lackey for the spray down. A successful round pulled out of thin air, a 4K from Lackey, but I think you're right on the money. That setup on that top side when there's only those two members left, they had too much to cover and not enough to fall back into if things went wrong.
There was just no contingency, was there?
Yeah.
And it wasn't just that moment. They'd not had Heaven or control of this elbow area where Essential was running now for ages. And they didn't react. They didn't push lobby. They didn't, play in towards Squeaky or anything like this. So, kind of asked for that demise to happen. Aurora, though, I do think that was a lifeline. They have not played good Counter-Strike for the last 5 or 6 rounds. And this one, it's not starting brilliantly. NPL can't win his duel, actually. Okay. Where's the bomb? The bomb's outside a lobby?
Yeah. No one wanted the responsibility. The guilt of losing it. The package might be light, but the burden heavy. And now it becomes a burden on this round, too. Good kill from Kenzie. Kirka was tracking, reading the possibility of that swing, but unable to come out with that duel. And as they go back to retrieve that package, they do cede a lot of space on this A bomb site, so you wonder whether or not they'll come back into that side of the map and try and finish that direction. They'll probably understand that that's a possibility that Essential could have slid out. There's a bit of a mind game between the two sides. Essential trying to read where Aurora headed next, and because of the fact that they just left this bomb site vacant for so long, they are finishing down towards lower, but that one smoke that's thrown has pulled Essential back up. He was gravitating ramp, he was making his way down lower, but he's made the wrong call, and so now they have a 2v1 on the site with a smoke sectioning off Essential's rotate. Becomes harder and harder, but a missed shot from Deco does present a possibility. Flash down as well, smoke on the site itself, and Deco won't miss a third time running. 6-6 at the turn of the half. We'll see how things develop when Bait go T-side.
Even Stevens. As we skirt our way into the second half, it's been one of those days for Aurora where they seem to be winning at their 70%. Not sure what that says about bait, but this round, of course, will set the tone. So let's see.
And they're going dry outside. That seems to be the call here for bait to start this T side. A flash that will actually allow for at least half of them to make it down towards the secret steps. And they do deal with Deco. They do trade successfully. And they dart right back out from those secret steps and collapse on A. But there's a lot of presence here. Result aggressing with these dualies. Not, but he gets demolished. A quick 180 from Alex. That shot is outrageous. And maybe a little bit of Deco's taste of his own medicine. Alex put into a 1-on-2 that he's brought to a 1-on-1. Nori known about in that main smoke. And as he plants this bomb, that'll be time for Nori to get a little bit more of a foothold and understanding of the position. The body spams. Alex down to 20 HP, but a single headshot could do Nori in. It's all on the timing. It's all on the swing. And committing to the reload, Norway now trying to close that gap, and he'll just aim for center mass and finish off the job. Bait will take the CT pistol.
I mean, it's
Aurora,
ugly.
sorry, we'll take it.
It's ugly, but it works. Not winning any awards there for artistry with that kill from Norvi. But I enjoyed it all the same. Okay. So, bit of a roller coaster of a pistol. Alex did his absolute utmost to win that pistol round. Holy, that shot. I think it was his second kill, was unbelievable.
Yeah. Just whipped on. You know, one shot came out of those dualies, and Alex was full dialed on the location.
This buy is a mess from bait. You can see Captain Kirk still running into spawn. Actually had his assigned weaponry. Aurora just going to lobby crunch. The word passive does not translate into Russian, it seems. As they've gone right in, taking their control. And actually, if I was Captain Kirk, I'd be real nervous about getting this bomb to a site at the moment.
Oh, maybe even nervous about the shots as well. Kenzie was blissfully unaware. Finally, Kirka controls that deagle for at least one kill. And NPL has breached through heaven, so a bomb site is clear, but Deco's nearby, and he'll rip the head of NPL. Kirka has retrieved his hands on an M4, gets a Molotov down vent, and will be allowed to plant on B. So money at least guaranteed, but could also just come through and steal this round away from Aurora. Don't know if he would have been spotted.
Yeah, I think Deco saw him.
Yeah,
feels like it.
There. He's very honed in on that location, opened up those double doors. He's trying to lure the captain out from his hidey hole, but Deco closing that gap. There will be a shadow advantage inside of Decon as well, so Captain Kurt very aware of Deco's approach. And it comes to 7-7, Force Fire Wars approach on Nuke.
Again, Aurora they just love to fumble. What has happened there?
It started well.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah, I mean, it's the same story on Inferno. It wasn't like they were just getting absolutely dominated by incredible deagle shots. It's we have an advantage and we overstay our welcome.
Now on the Aurora Force Buy right back. Got pistols out in spades and a Deco Nova.
I'm here for it.
I want to see how well it does.
What have we got? They're given ramp, playing free outside. This would be a hella good time for bait to pop in. As long as you can navigate Deco, there's not a lot of resistance here. And here we go. Nova out in tow. First collected. Take it to... Oh! That was juicy. That was juicy. Aurora up to their old tricks. All four on location. The bomb is dropped front hut. And this surely is over. Aurora. Live and die by the sword. And that sword's name is the Force Spy.
I don't know how they get away with it as many times as they do. And I'm sure Bait are asking the same damn question. 2 clean kills from a Nova. And as soon as that first head was ripped off, you saw Bait hesitate. Like, are we still running into this thing?
God, we could have a drinking game of take a shot every time a Force Spy is won. We wouldn't make it past map 1.
No, I don't think we would. I hate that suggestion, in fact. Doesn't seem healthy for anyone.
1 for those of legal age to play at home. Drink responsibly. If you're under 18, play with Capri Suns. Which hopefully these days are no added sugar. I am not aware.
Well, if they are, they'd be...
The drinks of our childhood were better. The true early 2000s Sunny D. Oh my. The kids of today do not understand.
Yeah, they don't. They don't. Also, nowadays in the UK, we have the sugar tax. Things are just...
God, where's the fun in that?
Yeah, exactly. You know, we've taken a lot of fun.
Do you remember there used to be do you remember this? It used to be I think it was Florida and California and Sunny D. Remember this?
No,
there was 2 types. And one of them was literally 10 times sweeter than the other. I seem to recall the Californian one was like more orange and much more sugar.
Love that.
Oh, for God's sake, just win a round where you had an advantage, Aurora.
It's not as simple as it seems. Some nice shots from Bait, but 3v2 once again, essential. Oh, really taking his time with that duel. Took a lot of damage too, and this time it won't fall too far from the tree. Aurora do collect versus the Force Spy attempt.
Just about. Wow. One of those days.
It's either close shave or Force Spy win, so...
They just have one gear, don't they? At least in this match. I have seen that. I mean, I recall... who did they play? I think they played Liquid at the CST Global Final. It was probably the biggest series they played of the year. And they were so much more restrained. They were so much more composed when they were in man advantages. So I truly believe they have it in them to play more fundamental Counter-Strike, but whatever's going on today, the only rule is W.
Start of the season, and against a team they maybe feel above, maybe playing a little looser. You know, let players express that aggressive creativity in the games that don't feel like have as high stakes. Maybe this is all a part of the long-term plan for Aurora coming into this season. Get all the crazy plays out so that when it comes time to be a little bit more passive, that bloodlust has been satiated in other matches.
Well, by hook or by crook, Aurora are on 10 rounds. On the stronger side. They're no strangers to seating Nuke either. So they do lose the first man. Lackey trying to get aggressive out of secret. Kenzie gets a reply as they seem intent on coming through these smokes and continuing to fight out. So Kenzie surely gets caught at some point. Didi does. Lost another teammate in the meanwhile, so bit of an ugly round. And an advantage now for Bait.
Echo might have had a timing, but made a step, so they are very aware of his location. So he offers a spam to see if he can further distract from Nori's approach in from heaven. Flash out into the site. It's well linked up here for Norway. They had to turn from that flash. Alex compromised, and while Deco is still inside of hut, they're just allowing Nori to operate free willy.
Oh
And
my.
Deco finally collecting on the spams he tried many times over. Just catches Captain. And just like that, it is a real close shave. But Aurora, they go down with a fight.
I truly
they're
hope
ever going to go
some
down.
of the viewers today have never seen Aurora before. And are just learning as we go along.
I'm supposed to replicate this kind of Counter-Strike? Are you crazy?
Well, that'd be even better if a team was like, guys, we need some new nuke strats. Let's try this demo. It's like, okay, you two need to die against pistols. Orpa, play in hut, make a noise, start spamming. Elsewhere, just run in, guys. Okay, good plan, let's go.
Yeah, sounds good to me. Anything's better than just rush B, surely.
Oh.
This has been a very non-linear game of Counter-Strike.
I feel like my hurdles analogy is just becoming better as we go along.
It has really matured. Well, outside smoke's down. NPL gets himself inside of garage, and there's no one that can really keep track of that. Kenzie's just holding this deep angle so that if someone attempts to take deeper territory here on the side of bait, you would be able to punish that, but the rest of the bait squad are down towards lower. Lackey has those doors blown wide open on the double side, so it will be difficult for bait to approach and clear out control, but they smoke it off. They know they have time to play off of. And just with that one smoke, they're starting to reroute to the vents. They want to finish upper. Kenzie.
How is he not dead?
I mean, that's a good first kill. NPL should have had the advantage, but Ken's still fighting tooth and nail, and he has teammates close to hut as well. Result, they may not have expected a third man in that same position, but now that he's shown his hand, bait are now caught in a awkward position. They could be spammed, they could be flanked. The longer they take, the more likely it is that Aurora get in position before that bomb is down, and they just cannot deal with Result. Plant down, but Essential has now lost his life, and Alex as well. So Aurora, all that hesitation from bait, it really works to their favor, and Result doing a fantastic job just proving a nuisance they couldn't get past.
I'm thoroughly enjoying this series. It's everything I hoped it would be. It is perfection. For all the wrong reasons.
They had the whole team lower, one smoked clear control, and they dive the vent back to A?
I don't know, man. Bait have not had their day of it, have they? I do think they are being individually outclassed, but that isn't the only reason. Aurora finding their footing again in so many rounds where they should have lost. And now, 5 chances to seal the deal. 5 chances to end the game. Kenzie, Norvi, Deco makes it 3. 2 to go. Make it 1. This is all she wrote. Aurora claim the win. 13-7 on this map. 13-6 on the first map. The scorelines say it was comfortable. We know, maybe not so much, but comfortable in the uncomfortable. That is Aurora.
Yeah, take pleasure in discomfort. It's something about like learning new skills and, you know, getting out of your comfort zone. I don't know that I was happy with how things ended up